worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. Are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. Are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keep, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keep, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop.
Hey, what's going on, Northview students? Happy August. We're excited that you're with us tonight. My name's Kent. I'm from the Westfield campus.
Hey, my name's Scott. I'm from the Kokomo campus, and it is a new school year, new things happening. We don't want you to miss on any of it. So right now, live on our website, are life group registrations. Make sure you go and register for this year's life groups. There's going to be tons of fun all year long.
Yeah, life groups are the best thing going at Northview students. Sign up today. We've got something special for you tonight. Emma Humphries is bringing a word for you. Emma's a former student. Yeah, Emma's a former student, and we're excited to hear what she has to share with you guys. Check it out.
What's up, Northview Students fam? My name's Emma Humphries, and I'm super pumped to be here with you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be jumping into the Old Testament, and we're going to be looking at the Israelites. So let's get started. The Israelites were God's chosen people, and that was their reputation. They were the chosen ones. They were strong in numbers, they were mighty, and the Lord's favor was upon their lives and their path. But the Israelites' other reputation was for messing up and turning their back on God. That was their other reputation. They were known for making that mistake over and over again. And the one common denominator was their broken perspective. And today we're going to be looking at that broken perspective in Numbers 14. But before we jump in and start reading, we're going to look at the background and the context of what we're reading. The Israelites had been delivered from Egypt, and the Lord's favor was upon their chains. He had faithfully walked them out, and they were looking to find their promised land. They were in the wilderness, and the Lord was giving them the land of Canaan. The land of Canaan was their promised land, and as they sent the spies in, they saw that the land was great, that it was flowing with milk and honey, that it was exceedingly good. But they also saw that the land was full of giants, that the land was too strong, and the cities were too strong for them to overcome. So we're going to jump in at verse 1, and we're going to read through verse 9. Then all the congregation raised a loud cry, and the people wept that night. And all the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The whole congregation said to them, "Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in the wilderness. Why is the Lord bringing us into this land, to fall by the sword? Our wives and our little ones will become a prey. Would it not be better for us to go back to Egypt?" And they said to one another, "Let us choose a leader and go back to Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the people of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb and the son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes, and said to all the congregation of the people of Israel, "The land which we passed through to spy it out is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord delights in us, he will bring us into the land and will give it to us, the land that flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us." And as we look and we read through that passage, we see that the Israelites' perspective was just a why God. Why are we here? They saw no purpose. And when we look at the end of verse 3, we see that they just want to go back to Egypt. They want to go back to what is comfortable. They want to go back to what they had known for so long. They didn't want to be uncomfortable. They didn't want to walk forward to the unknown. They wanted to go back. And when we look at their attitude and we look at their perspective, they simply just don't want to move forward. They simply don't want to take in something that's too big for them to handle, even though they know they need the Lord's strength for it, and even though they know that his favor is upon them. And the first thing that I want us to learn from the Israelites is do not be willing to go back into slavery just because your perspective does not see purpose. Friend, do not be willing to go back into slavery just because your perspective does not see purpose. Do not be willing to put yourself back in chains. Do not be willing to put yourself back into bondage when freedom is given to you in full. When freedom is given to you by the one who owns all of it. And he wants to give it to you. And I want to challenge your perspective with the thought and the truth that God is higher. His ways are higher and his thoughts are higher, and he has a different perspective than we do, and he always will. But we can ask him to replace our perspective and our expectations with his own. We can ask him to change our hearts, to see where he wants to lead us, to see the land and the promised land that he wants to lead us into, the land that's flowing with milk and honey, the exceedingly good place that he has set up for me and set up for you. He's higher and he knows what he's doing. He's not twiddling his thumbs up in heaven. He's working for you. He's working on your path. And he wants to lead you out of your Egypt and your chains, but you have to give him the surrender and you have to give him it fully. Oftentimes we're the ones holding our own chains, and we're holding ourselves back in our own Egypt because we're comfortable, because we've known it for so long, because we don't want to move forward and we're too scared. But we serve the God who doesn't own fear. Instead, he owns peace. And we can walk with him through that, and we can walk out of our Egypt, and we can freely own all of the freedom that he gives us. When we give him our surrender and we say, God, I'm yours. Take me out of my bondage. I will follow you to my promised land, even if I walk into the wilderness. He's working exactly where your feet are. You might feel like you're in the wilderness right now, friend, but let me tell you that exactly where your feet are, there is purpose. Every season that you live in is full of purpose, but your perspective has to be challenged to see it. Your perspective has to be broad enough and high enough to see that the Lord is working, even in the little things. Even when you feel like there's no purpose to keep going, there's always something greater he's leading you into and something he's challenging you with. The second thing I want us to learn from the Israelites is if you never move forward, you will never find anything new. If you never move forward, you will never find anything new. Not if you keep walking back into your Egypt, not if you keep picking up your own chains, not if you keep going back to what is comfortable, not if you keep going back to what you've known for so long, but you know that it breaks you on the inside every single day. If you keep going back to that one ex, if you keep going back to that one friend group that makes you do things you know you shouldn't do, if you keep going back to those places that make you do things you know you shouldn't do, if you keep going back to the comments that break your heart over and over again, or the addictions and lusts that have held you for years or decades, you will never find anything new. You will not find freedom in that, and that's a promise, friend. That is a promise. There is not growth in the old, and there is not new behind us. It's all ahead of us. The Lord is leading us into something bigger and better and brighter. There's something ahead of you. There's a promised land ahead of you. And the Lord is trying to move you forward. He's trying to move you past your past. He's trying to take you out of what has been controlling you and putting you down day after day. He wants your surrender to give you that full freedom, to take you out of your own Egypt and keep you out of there. So don't turn back. Don't walk back into it freely. Don't choose it when God is giving you freedom. It's your choice and it's your surrender, and you have to choose what you're going to do with it. The Lord knows the work that he's doing in this season. He knows what he wants to get out of you, and he knows what he wants to teach you. And you may not see that, and you may not understand that. But when you look back one day, you will see the purpose that season and that circumstance and that relationship and that friendship was filled with. Because we serve a God of intentionality. He fills everything that we walk through with intentionality and with purpose. And there's lessons behind it, and that's the beauty in it. There's something behind it. But he wants to lead you out of your Egypt into that land that is flowing with milk and honey and is exceedingly good. And I want to challenge your perspective on one verse before we close, and that's Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And I challenge you to put your name where it says you. I challenge you to read that knowing that it was made for you. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not to put you down, plans not to harm you, but to give you a hope and a future, to lead you into a promised land, to lead you into something better, and to lead you into freedom. He's not going to lead you into less, he's only going to lead you into more. When you walk out of your Egypt, you will find more. You will find more freedom, you will find more grace, and you will find more of Jesus when you let go of your own chains and you give him the surrender to walk you out. So I want to challenge you, Are you living in freedom, or are you choosing to live in chains? It's your choice. What are you choosing to live in? And what do you need to let go of?
What an incredible word from Emma. We're so thankful for her and her heart. Hey, make sure you sign up for life groups. There's going to be so much fun we don't want you to miss. But with that, hey, have a great week.